What's up, everybody? This is an introductory video to this channel, which I have decided to name Lou on Your Left. That's an homage to Captain America and Falcon. I've been a big fan of Marvel Comics most of my life. What I really dug about the concept as they used it in the movies was that in the beginning, it was look out on your left, something's coming. And then it became to mean almost a "I'm here for you, I got your back" kind of thing. That's the vibe it had in the Avengers Endgame film, and that's where I'm coming from with this channel. Is the reason that I'm doing this. I'm very disturbed by what I'm seeing going on in my country, and I want my countrymen who have sense to know that I got your back. I'm here. I'm trying to be active in preventing what I see as like a mounting tide of nonsense that's coming our way. It's already begun. I mean, the truth of the matter is it's already begun. And it also is significant that for most people that I know in my life, I am to the left of them politically, wherever they stand. Now, I'm not a tanky. I'm not a person who hates America but props up, the Soviet Union as some glowing example of socialism, especially because they're not really socialists anymore. Or China as a glowing example of communism because they're not really communists anymore. Capitalism has infiltrated both of those things, and everyone in the world should be aware of that. But this is about a journey of myself and just some things that I see and my thoughts on them going on around me. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 44 years old. I was born in 1978 in South Florida. I spent most of my life in the South up until, the past, since about 2006. My mother was white. My father's Afro-Latino. My mom had to drop out of school for a few different reasons, but largely it was due to racism. It was due to what she was called for being with and becoming pregnant by a black man. My father was an illegal immigrant. He eventually gained his citizenship status through military service. Marrying my mother also helped, which, he did when they were both very young. Got my dog here checking in on us. So, this being a Gen Xer, I was what you call a latchkey kid. I was my mother's only child, and after my parents split apart, my mom had to work two jobs to provide. And I spent a lot of time alone. I had other family members, but they weren't around quite as much. In the beginning, my mother was saddled with a lot of childcare responsibilities. She was, for the first 3 years of my life, her parents were essentially, your kid, your problem. My grandfather was a New York Irishman, so you can imagine he drank. He was a very racist person. I tell people that my grandfather was kind of a, if you've ever seen the old All in the Family TV show and the Flintstones, he was a combination of Fred Flintstone and Archie Bunker. He was Fred Flintstone in mannerisms, and he was Archie Bunker in politics and rhetoric. My grandmother just kind of, went along with it to have something of a secure life, as she saw it. He was in the military. He was a Navy veteran. He was a naval corpsman. Did 2 tours in Vietnam. Although for all his racism, while he was stationed in Japan, he was living with the Japanese woman, and I suspect he probably had a whole other family over there. Wouldn't surprise me, right? my father ended up becoming a drug dealer in the inner city of Miami. So needless to say, being born into those kind of situations has not been very easy. And I've had to bite, kick, claw, and scratch for every little thing I've ever gotten. Like, I'm a regular working class Joe. There were probably opportunities for me to be more earlier in my life with my intellect, but even applying things like that are hard when you don't have a strong support system, when you don't have confidence, which I was lacking in through most of my scholastic career. So basically, I'm going to be coming at this from that perspective, doing some commentary on things I see around me and things that are going on in our country, and giving my perspectives on why I believe that most of it is nonsensical and only really serves people who don't need to be served. So thank you for watching. We'll be coming at you with a lot of different things over time. And this has been Lou on your left.